Okay, so today we are going to start with the idea of redshift.
Like CMBR, like
Yes.
cosmic.
Right. So, as we already know, when stars or galaxies are moving away from the observer, so the observed frequency coming from those observers actually decreases. So, if we talk about frequencies coming from stars or galaxies when they are moving away from the observer.
I feel like when we study the Doppler's effect, I kind of remembered this. So like, is it kind of related?
Okay.
Because like the frequency gets kind of like as it travels, the frequency I think it gets more like less, and the
Yes.
wavelength becomes more.
Right. So just like from the Doppler's effect you mentioned, we already studied in AS. So in Doppler's effect, when something like a source is moving away from the observer, so wavelength increases and frequency decreases. And that is the idea of the red shift because in red color we know the wavelength is greater as compared to the violet or blue color. And further, the shift in frequency or wavelength. So the shift in frequency or the wavelength is directly proportional. It is directly proportional to the speed of CD. So it is directly proportional to the speed from which it is moving away from any observer or any planet or any other galaxy, etc. So there is decrease in the frequency, and the formula for this scenario is equals to change in wavelength divided by actual wavelength is equals to speed of the star or galaxy, and c is the speed of light. V represents speed of star or galaxy. So from this formula, we can easily compare if we are talking about actual or original wavelength. So at actual wavelength or original wavelength, the speed is equals to speed of light. This is actual wavelength, and at actual wavelength, it is equals to speed of light. But when there is a change in wavelength, so when there is a change in wavelength, it is equals to the speed of a star or galaxy from which that specific star or galaxy is moving away from the observer. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So this is the idea of the speed and the wavelength. And the second idea is about the Hubble's law. It also helps to understand this idea of redshift or the bodies or galaxies moving away from the observer. Idea of Hubble's law. So in Hubble's law, what happens if we talk about the speed of recession? It is directly proportional of a star is directly proportional to the distance of the star from Earth. So according to this phenomena, V is directly proportional to D. V is equals to H into D. So V is the speed of recession, as we mentioned in the description, and D represents the distance between the source and observer at that specific duration that we are observing, and H represents Hubble's constant.
So they'll give me Hubble's constant in the paper though, right?
Yes, that value is equals to 2.2 10 to the power minus 18 per seconds.
Okay. And recession is kind of like the speed of like how like it's slowing down, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the speed of recession, like okay, like you know how sometimes they want to like in papers they want to like connect topics, right? So like would they ever make me find the speed of recession without this formula, like through a different formula or no?
Yes, we can calculate from the redshift formula, as we mentioned from the wavelength. So it can also be calculated with the help of that formula also, right?
Yep.
So that is
But
another.
like not any other equations like from other topics though.
No, basically there is no such other topics linked to this specific chapter that helps to find out speed of recession, especially because this topic is already new. That is not like very old topic, so that's why it is also limited, just like the space physics included in IGCSE and O levels,
Okay.
right? And the rest of the thing is we know about the evidences of the Big Bang theory, that how we are going to work with the Big Bang theory and why we are using that. So there are two specific ideas. The first one is about redshift, and second one is about CMBR, right? Cosmic microwave background radiations. Because when uh, scientists or astronauts used to observe the reading from the outer space, so they observe the wavelength which is in the region of infrared regions or like microwave regions. So that region tells about the type of radiations over there, and that radiations are of greater wavelength. So from that greater wavelength, we assume that bodies and galaxies are moving away from any other body or any other galaxy. So that's why space is also expanding. So that is the idea, or that is the evidence for Big Bang, right?
Right, okay.
And for example, if we calculate estimated that how old is the universe, so to calculate the estimated value, so let's suppose if we consider this question that how old is the universe. So if we want to calculate it, so let's suppose we are going to use the idea of Hubble's constant. V is equals to H over D. And let's suppose the fastest galaxy at speed of light. And speed of light can also be distance upon time. Okay. Or c is equals to distance upon time. So for example, from the above equation, v is equals to h into d. So v can be replaced by the letter c, and h d. D means c into t from this equation. So c and c cancel out each other, and we got h and t, time. So now we need to write the value of Hubble's constant as we mentioned earlier. So t is equals to 1 over 2.2, 10 to the power minus 18, and it is equals to 1 divided by 2.2 exponent minus 18, 4.5 exponent 17 seconds. So this is the value of time in seconds, and if we convert into the years, so we need to convert into the years by dividing by 365 days, 24 hours, 3600 seconds.
Divided by. So would they ever ask me, like I've done these like I've seen the calculation in the book, this one I think before, but would they like have they brought in a past paper before?
We will practice, but maybe they sometimes ask about this idea. And let's suppose if they used to ask with different speed given, so we can also relate with that speed also, because we know speed of light is constant, and if some other speed is given, so let's suppose if we find any other galaxy that is moving with some other speed, so we can easily relate with this equation, that let's suppose if there is some galaxy, for example, if we consider our galaxy and we assume that is moving with the speed of light, let's suppose, and there is some other galaxy moving with certain other speed, so we can place both values over here, and we can find out the time for that specific galaxy or that universe or that specific part in the space also, right?
Yep.
And if we consider some questions, let's see what type of questions we have. Okay, so this is one question from the past paper of May June 2022. We will also discuss like from 2023 and 24 questions, because before these papers you will not get the past papers related to this specific topic. So in this question you can see the first one is about Hubble's law. You just need to mention about the Hubble's law, and according to the Hubble's law you just need to mention the same definition, right? In the second part, explain how cosmologists use observations of emission spectra from stars in distant galaxies to determine that the universe is expanding. So for this specific part, we can mention about that idea of wavelength, right?
Yes.
And we can also ask, or we can also write with the reference of CMBR.
So we can use either like wavelength or like isn't wavelength and CMBR like related?
Yes, you can also relate that idea because they are asking about the observation of emission spectra. So you can also mention CMBR if you want. Otherwise, you can just simply mention the wavelength of the emission of a spectra. are greater. It shows idea of redshift also. And from redshift, we can also say that galaxies and stars are moving away from the other galaxy or the star. Okay, so in B part, explain how Hubble's law
Yeah.
and
How
the idea
Hubble's
of,
law.
yes,
Okay, the Big Bang Theory. So do I talk about how like the wavelength is always like getting more and more?
yes,
Like the redshift is like one like evidence is the redshift occurring.
yes. One evidence is the redshift, and they are asking about Hubble's law and idea of expanding universe. So in Hubble's law, as we discuss about the recession speed, so we need to include the idea of the speed also, that the part of the universe or like all part of the universe are moving away from each other. And as far they are moving away from each other, so they are moving with faster speed. Okay, because V is directly proportional to the D. So if your distance is greater, so it means that speed is also greater. Okay, and it helps you to identify that bodies that are moving away from the earth or any other galaxy or specific body, so definitely their speeds are greater as compared to the normal bodies or any other bodies, right? So we can say
Right. Right.
in space are moving away from each other, and more distant object are moving with high speed, explained by Hubble's law. V is directly proportional to D. So it means that initially in the universe, bodies are close together, but now they are moving away from each other, right? So this supports the evidence for the expansion of universe. So this is one question we got in May June 22, and let's see some other one. This is first variant, and it is also same. But in the first part, they are asking
Yeah.
about wave displacement law.
Okay. Like a different law this time. Like they mix and match the question.
Yes, so basically, we first need to write down the law that wavelength of maximum intensity is inversely proportional to the thermodynamic temperature, as we discussed over here. And in the next part, it shows the wavelength distribution of electromagnetic radiations emitted by the two stars A and B. There are two stars given. Now, the surface temperature of star A is known to be 5800 Kelvin and determine the surface temperature of star B. So for star B, we need to determine the surface temperature. So they are saying the surface temperature of star A is known to be 5800 Kelvin. Determine the surface temperature of star B. So basically, if we observe the maximum peak, so the maximum peak for A is at this point 0.5, and for the maximum peak of B, it will be at this point, right? So it is 0.56 and 0.65, right? Because we have 10 boxes between zero point 0.5 and 1. So it means two boxes is equals to zero point 0.1. So 0.5, 0.6, 0.7 like this. So it is after third box. So third box means we have a 6.5 value, 0.65 micrometer. Just like this graphical representation, we used to mark the maximum peak. And we know that statement shows you that lambda is equals to k over t, k is constant. So it means maximum wavelength for A temperature is equals to B with its temperature, right? And we need to find out the temperature of B. So wavelength of A is 0.5 micrometer multiplied by temperature. So 4461 Kelvin. Or we can also round it off to 4500. So this is the surface temperature, right? Okay, so
Okay.
this part, yes, this part is also simple, and the other part is related to the same redshift idea, just like we discussed. And before this, we have Feb March 22. So in Feb March question, state what is meant by luminosity of a star, the first topic that we discussed.
I remember.
So it is the total power of radiation emitted by the star
And per like the surface area,
Yes.
right?
So you just need to mention the definition for 1 mark. Then in B part, the luminosity of the sun is equals to this much watt, and the distance between the earth and the sun is equals to this. Calculate the radiant flux intensity F of the sun and earth. Give a unit with your answer. So in radiant flux intensity, we discuss formula like this, that I is equals to L over 4 pi d square. I represents intensity and L is luminosity. And in our question, we have luminosity given, and then distance is given, and we need to find out radiant flux intensity F. We used to mention by I, and here it is mentioned with F, so you need to replace I with F. So it becomes,
Okay.
yes, I is equals to L over rest of the thing, but it now becomes F is equals to L over 4 pi d square. So F is equals to divided by d square, like this. So after calculation, 3.83 exponent 26 divided by 4 into pi multiplied by 1.51 exponent 11 square. So we are getting 1336. Or we can round it off to 1340. And it is equals to watt per meter square. Okay.
Okay.
C part is use data from the previous part B to calculate the mass that is converted into energy every second in the sun. So mass into energy, we have only one equation, E equals to mc square. We need to find out the mass, E over c square. Energy is 3.83, because they are saying every second. Power is equals to energy upon time, or energy is equals to power into time. So from the previous, we know that power is given in watt, luminosity that is, and they are saying every second. So time is like 1 second. So it can easily be converted into energy, right? And for C, definitely the speed of light. So this is the value for the speed of light is square. So it will be equals to 4 to so many fives and then 6. So it means 4.2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This much mass is given,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, like once you do all of the calculations.
Right. Secondly, uh, one more part, the radius of the sun is given, and it shows the temperature. We need to show the temperature of the surface of the sun is 5770 Kelvin. Okay, so for temperature and luminosity, yes, this one, Stephen Boltzmann law, right? So from Stephen Boltzmann law, that luminosity is equals to Stephen Boltzmann constant into the surface area into the power 4 temperature. So we can use this formula to show that temperature is equals to this value. Okay.
Mm.
So area is not given directly like this. So luminosity is 3.83. So it is equals to 4 pi. Radius is given 6.96 exponent 8. Multiply by the constant value of a Stephen Boltzmann constant that will be given in your paper
Okay.
equals to this. So we just need to check it is equals to the same value they mention or not. 26 divided by 4 into 3.42, the value of pi, multiply by 6.96 exponent 8 square, multiply by 5.67 exponent minus 8.
Will
Then
it give like the exact 5,770 Kelvin or like something like close to it so then I have to show like rounding off and stuff?
yes, you will get like almost rounded off value. So we are getting 5759 like this. So rounded off, it can be equals to 5770. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the idea. And we have one more part related to
Okay, like related to wavelength and rate
exactly.
emission. Okay.
And further, if we observe from new papers, so let's see is there any difference in the question or not? Okay, so we have May June 2024 paper 4 variant 1. So let's see what type of question we will get from this paper. Okay, so in this paper, we are getting like the same question related to the luminosity of a star. So we need to define the same idea, just like the previous paper. And in the second part, explain how a standard candle in a distant galaxy can be used to determine the distance of the galaxy from an observer. So
Okay, so
basically,
do I have to like
Mhm.
the formulas and stuff?
Yes, you can also mention the formula if you want. So that formula helps your answer, that how this actually happens. So how to write answer for this part?
Like you should. Okay, so you have to find out the just like the okay, you have to find the luminosity right? As well.
Okay. So we can use the equation related to the luminosity that we discussed for the previous part in the previous question, right? So first of all, so the first part we can mention standard candle is an astronomical object which has known luminosity, because definitely when you need to observe any luminosity for any specific other object or body in the universe, so definitely we require some standard value. So this astronomical object standard candle helps to compare with the luminosity of that object, because this luminosity is known. Let's suppose that is represented by L, and then the observer measures the radiant flux intensity F received, and after measuring the radiant flux intensity, we can find out the distance by using the formula that is calculated from F equals to L over 4 pi d square, right? By using this formula. Then in B part, the sun has a radius, again given the same radius, and the surface temperature 5780. Light from the sun is observed have a peak intensity wavelength of 501 nanometer. Calculate the luminosity of the sun. Give unit with your answer. We know the unit of the luminosity of the sun is equals to the watt, because it is equals to the power, and the formula is same that we mentioned. So L is equals to 4 pi r square power 4. Radius is 6.96. And then we have a Stephen Boltzmann law constant, that is 5 point, and then the value of temperature power of 4. So after simple calculation, 6.96 exponent 8 whole square multiplied by 5.67 exponent minus 8 multiplied by 5780 power 4. 3.559 exponent 26. And what is the SI unit? Then we have another star, and it emits radiation that has a peak intensity at a wavelength of 624 nanometer. Determine the surface temperature of this star. So wavelength is given, and they are asking about the surface temperature. So definitely Wien's displacement law, maximum wavelength into T is equals to constant. And for surface temperature, from the previous one, we got temperature 5780 multiplied by previous wavelength 501 nanometer divided by 624. 5780 multiplied by 501 divided by 624. 4640. So these are some questions from the past papers.